My friend Rebecca has some brake issues on the front of this car, and we're going to take a few minutes and put some pads on this car here. So it is a, what year again?
2002.
2002 Chevy?
Chevy Cavalier.
Chevy Cavalier. So the first thing we've got to do is support it with this floor jack, get it up in the air, make sure that it's supported nicely. And we're going to do that, Rebecca, by, I think, placing that. We're not going to be able to. Okay, what Rebecca has begun to do is to twist off these little plastic cover nuts that actually support the hubcap. And once we take these plastic nuts off, we'll be able to pull the hubcap off. And as you can see right there is the actual nut that we're going to use a 1/2-inch impact wrench to take the wheel off. Okay, now what Rebecca is about to do, she's going to use this 1/2-inch impact ratchet and loosen the lugs. Now that we've got the wheel off, a quick inspection shows that that rotor is just a little bit grooved. It's not terribly to the point. Okay, Rebecca's now loosening the 3/8 Allen head bolt that holds this caliper in place. So what we're going to do is take the top bolt out, leave the bottom bolt in, and then decompress the caliper so we can pull it off the rotor. Okay, now what Rebecca is doing is she's got this flathead screwdriver between the old brake pad and the rotor, and we're just going to put a little bit of pressure to actually force the caliper pressure off and push some of that fluid back into the master cylinder. Okay, we come to a conclusion that this rotor is wore out, so we're going to have to put a new rotor on. Rebecca's got this 3/4 inch drive on her impact, and we're going to take this spindle nut off. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take the C-clamp and we're going to push this piston back up inside of the caliper, and that's going to enable us to put the new brake pads on. Okay, we've got the old brake pad off, and you can see from the wear that it has how long it's been grinding into the rivets. Here's the rivets. Been grinding into that metal rotor for quite some time. Obviously, when you hear noise on your brakes, it's time to replace them. You can see how the old one, as compared to the new thickness, here's the new one. See the difference in thickness? Here's the new pad. Much thicker. You put these two together, side by side, you can see how much wear and tear there was. We're actually into the metal binding backing, where the padding, this asbestos padding here, attaches to this metal backing, and that's all that's left on this one. Okay, Rebecca's got the new rotor back. We're actually going to go ahead and put the new rotor on the axle, and as she sets that down on there, we're going to be able to reassemble the caliper by tightening up the 2 bolts that we took loose. Okay, now Rebecca's going to take the 3/8 caliper bolts and just push them back in so that they bite as she begins to tighten them up. Okay, now that we've got the brake pads back together and the caliper on the rotor, it's time to put the wheel on.
Damn it.
Put the wheel back on, and we tighten these lug nuts in a... Okay, we've got the wheel back on, and we tightened these lug nuts in a staggered pattern. So we started with this till it was snug, then I went to this, then it was snug, all 5, and then I went back the same way and made sure that all 5 were good and tight. That secures the wheel. Now what we'll do is put the hubcap back on and the plastic cups that keep the hubcap on. Screws over top of this. You can see a little thread in there for these. Okay, you can see we've got the hubcap on now, nice and secure. These little plastic screws are the ones that I was telling you about earlier, and that'll secure the hubcap nice and tight so it doesn't come off. Now it's time to go to the other side.